not hate to say that we were kidnapped and brought here. It's true. It's not hate to say that we were Jim Crow, discriminated and segregated. It's
Our
true.
problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about...
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Thank you for tapping in again. This is Brian, HRap B. Williams. It is important that you do so, man. It's important that you hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tell a friend, leave a comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Subscribe if you have not already. Already know. You can find this live or whenever you watch it on www.interdivision.com, along with the Black History clip that, as usual, my man Country Boy on One Mic History on YouTube, or you can go to my page, do me a favor and Country Boy a favor, watch it on my page. Country Boy gets to watch, I get to visit. We build our situation. Thank you for the 2 new subscribers. You guys are greatly appreciated. Please continue to tell a friend to come on in. Thank you to my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores, without John, there is no HRap. Without no HRap, there is no End of the Bench, and there will be no episode 36. So thank you to my parents. Thank you to my supporters. And let's get this going. We back at it with the DEI. We back at it with the history. We back at it with the subjective behavior by the higher ups. People are stepping in. People are stepping up. But who has to do that? We do as a community. We need to step up. Let's go with episode 35 of Few Minutes with HRap. Now, the people who are in power, the current administration, they are doing everything they can to oppress people who are in our position. Look, we are not in a position of power. We haven't been in a position of power at all on this continent since its inception, since the inception of the United States, whether it be the 13 colonies or the 48 states here in Central North America, along with Hawaii and Alaska. We haven't been in a position of power, but what we are in a position to create power, and that's how we get it from up under the boot of our oppressive government and the oppressive people who are currently running the government and not allowing them to do what they want to do to us. How do we do that? Understand what you're up against first and foremost. We need to start acting as if it's 99, not 1999, 1899. Why did I pick 1899? Because we were a more galvanized unit. We had a more laser focused attention. We knew who our enemies were. We knew what we needed to do. We knew the things that what we were capable of, because we had just come out of a period called Reconstruction. We are facing new laws called the Black Laws, Jim Crow segregation. We're facing a newly formed Ku Klux Klan, and we have leadership in this country in which they're not supporting us at all. Sound familiar? That's why I picked that period. But still, we had Granville T. Woods, we had Booker T. Washington, we had W.B. Du Bois, we had thinkers, doers, creators, and we had our community galvanized against any enemy. The only thing we didn't do at that point was this. We did not join forces and unite and put ourselves in a position of power. We tried to integrate. Now that we know that's not the way, what we can do is separate ourselves like other communities have done throughout the history of the United States of America, whether it be the Irish, whether it be the Germans, whether it be the Italians, whether it be the Jewish community, whether it be the Latino community and its many facets. And they built communities around their traditions, their tribal wherewithal, their languages and things of that nature. And for the most part, they don't let you in. And it's not a rude, disrespectful, disregarding thought, and why they don't let you in. They're just protecting what's theirs. We have the creativity. We have the stick-to-itiveness. We have the know all. And what we need to do is get the protection portion in, whether it be political protection, physical protection, mental protection, spiritual protection. We need to start thinking, as I've said, since episode maybe 30, We need to start thinking about our great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. That's how far in the future we need to be thinking. How do we do that? Well, first and foremost, we must understand civics. We must understand cognitive thought. We must understand what we're up against. We're up against a racist regime right now. They are the people who stole this land from the people who are identified as indigenous. They are the people who stole that land. So they're not going to give it back. And they're not going to try to give up power. But what we can do is stop listening to people, and myself included, and say, hey, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. What you need to do is take what I say. You don't have to agree with everything, because when I speak to people, they say, I don't agree with everything you say. I never want anybody to agree with everything I say. I don't need robots. I need brothers and sisters working together for the betterment of, again, our great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. And if you have a better idea than me, who am I to reject your idea? That has been one of the problems in our community as well. Booker T. Washington, W.B. Du Bois, academics against vocation. What they do is work hand in hand. You need doctors, you need lawyers, you need physician's assistants, you need legal aides, you need engineers, and you also need plumbers, carpenters, electricians, and things of that nature. And that's how you build a one community and a functioning community. That way you don't have to go to someone else to have your car operated on. You don't have to go to someone to have your body operated on. And each and every individual body has its own quirks. There are certain things, there are certain medications that work on other cultures that do not work sufficiently for us. But a physician from our culture will be able to identify that. An engineer, a scientist, they will be able to identify the quirks in our body, and that's where we will be able to be successful. We can also use the things that are in front of us. People who lack focus. I don't know if I want to be an engineer, HRap. I don't know if I want to be a doctor, HRap. Player like Charles Drew, who invented the blood transfusion. He was not a great student. He was a track star. But once he was injured, he all of a sudden, hey, like they say, if you lose your sight, your hearing. If you lose something else. He lost his athletic prowess, and guess what? His brain kicked in, and he became one of the foremost, one of the greatest scientists in the history of the United States of America and for the world at that point. He still affects the world every single solitary day. Someone's getting blood transfusion. Someone is getting blood plasma. Someone is benefiting from Charles Drew at this very moment. There are literally millions of people benefiting right now. So once he lost something, so guess what? This is when we take advantage of the military. You go to the military, and this is when community kicks in. Our uncles, our fathers, our brothers, our cousins. We're not going to talk at young people. We're going to talk to young people. And if you don't know, we're going to teach. This is why history is important. You teach pride. You teach the importance of culture. You teach the importance of community. You teach the importance of respect. And then you allow them to go into the military. So anything that is taught after that is just layered. But guess what? It's always the foundation. These are the things that we have to do in order to maximize our ability, because everyone at age 18 is a laser focus on what they want. Some of us don't know what we want until we're 35, 40 years old. And this is why you go to the military, get that training, have the ability to earn, and then you move forward. And this may open doors and allow you to see the rest of the world and open your mind. We must have open minds. We must have open opportunities, and we can create those opportunities. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to stay on schedule today. What I'm going to do is get right into this Black History thing that I do every week, every day. And what I want us to understand is this is part of who we are, so you can understand the power. And once you understand the power, then you will never mistake yourself as less than. This is my man, as you see on the screen, One Mic History, my man, Country Boy. Support. It's not going to play in its entirety. It's in the description of this episode, and as well as www.theendofthebench.com. Please listen shortly, and I'll be right back.
Without further ado, let's get started. In the American South, African Americans face relentless hardship and systemic discrimination The region's agrarian economy was built on a foundation of slavery and sharecropping, which perpetuated cycles of debt and poverty for Black families. Racial segregation reinforced their second-class citizenship, limiting their access to education, healthcare, public accommodations. Political disenfranchisement through poll taxes and literacy tests left African Americans vulnerable to exploitation and racial violence, including lynchings that served only to terrorize and control Black communities.
Big Pharma tried to silence me when I said lemon contains a nutrient that naturally controls blood sugar. This changes everything.
This created an environment where Black folks were looking to move. So by the time of World War I, there was already a growing movement among African Americans to leave the oppressive South and seek better opportunities north. But the war would accelerate this process, creating a labor shortage in northern factories due to the decreased European immigration. These factories were eager to hire African Americans.
As you see, sorry for that commercial popping up. As you see, this is exactly what I was talking about. You use the tools of the country to advance your mission. Guess what? You go to the military. If you on the lowest level, which is a grunt, and you're hand-to-hand combat kind of guy, guess what? You're key to be a police officer, security officer, or create your own security firm that will protect the communities that you go back to. You will have businesses in your community that you can patrol and protect. See, we must use every avenue in regards to this country so we can advance our thing. That way we don't have to worry about, then you won't have people like this young man in Tennessee who hated himself so much that he went and destroyed someone and he unalived them and unalived himself. We can no longer have people in our community that does not like themselves to the point where they will eliminate themselves. No, we can no longer do that. One of the things, with that being said, one of the things that disturbed me almost as much as a young man who hates himself so much he unalives himself is the fact that we, instead of looking at these DEI things and these civil rights being taken away and incompetent people getting powerful positions that will affect us, that may get Black History Month taken away, which I really don't care about that. I'm going to celebrate. February going to be Black History Month as long as Black history on people, as long as Black people on the planet Earth. I don't need anybody to acknowledge my people. Juneteenth will be taken away. Thank God. Thank God, because that's our thing. That's our 4th of July. That's our Independence Day. So I don't need the day off. It's a wonderful time to have a day off. It's a wonderful time to get double time pay. But guess what? I don't need you to acknowledge anything. That way it will revert back to us and we will uplift it and put us in a position of mental power, spiritual power, and physical power. But back to what I was talking about. DEI was taken away from Target said, we're not doing DEI anymore. And everybody was up in arms. And then you got people like Tabitha Brown being attacked and being called Uncle Tom. First and foremost, I'm going to need y'all to read the book. Uncle Tom was a hero. If you call me Uncle Tom, you're actually giving me a compliment. I don't care what the colloquialisms of the day is. You call me Uncle Tom. For one, if you mean it in a denigrating point, that means I know you are not literally astute and you need to do some more reading. And two, it's a hero. He's a hero to everybody who ever read the book. Back to my point. We can no longer react in regards to, oh, I'm angry. Oh, this is BS. Oh, I can't believe this. This, that, and the third. No, we can no longer. Look, you have the right to be angry. We're angry. We're going to be angry. I am all for anger. A nickname in my family called me Angry Man. So being angry is nothing to me. But anger burns out. Anger activates. And then we need to initiate, and then we need to go forward with action after the anger. Even if, like, some people get angry and want to fight. No, you fight with what's between your ears, because if you don't fight what's between your ears, you're going to have a deficit in young men, a deficit in young ladies, and a deficit in guidance. And that's what we've been experiencing. So what we do is look at the situation in its totality. Do we have the ability to get angry and walk away from all these industries, the Amazons, the Targets, the Walmarts, and then go pay extra? No, because we don't have the ability to. But what we we do have the ability to is to boycott them in another way. See, we live in abundance. Whether you want to admit it or not, we get a double cheeseburger. We get an 8-piece wing instead of 6-piece wing. We get 10 of these instead of 5 because we're comfortable doing that. We're eating to live. Instead of having 1 or 2 streaming services, we have 6. Instead of having three pair athletic shoes, 3 pair of casual shoes, 3 pair of dress shoes, we have 9 of each. And that's what the problem is. Every time you buy, I just got the new Jordans. I got my son 8 pair of Jordans, and we brag. I got 8 pair of Jordans. I'm the man. No, you don't need 8 pair of shoes. You need enough. You need shoes to match your navy, your black, and your brown. And all of those will coincide with the other colors. You need a pair of shoes to work out in. You need a pair of athletic shoes to walk around in. We just bumming around, and you need a stylish pair just in case you want to look good. And casual shoes the exact same way. What we need to do is become minimalists. See, and then we don't have to worry about being taken advantage of. If you really want to boycott something, shop black. You go on Target, and if they have a section on their website for black items. If it's not black item, don't purchase it. Or how about this? During the pandemic, people went nuts going for black things, and then 90 days later, you were back on the white things. Instead of calling people like our sister Tabitha Brown to sell out and a coon and all this stuff, how about we buy her out of Target, buy her out of Walmart, and then we put her in a position that she can have a brick and mortar situation, and we're just going to keep shopping with her. How about that? That's how you get back at people. You leave their stuff on the shelves and you get yours. And guess what? They're forced to want to order more. But if we buy her out, now she has the opportunity to have a warehouse and ship it to us. Guess what happens? We empower Sister Brown. We empower other people. And then people like the guy who owns Starbucks, who wants to do away with DEI. We never, under any circumstances, walk our black behinds in a Starbucks in the history of the world. See, we don't have to go to Starbucks, but we need to go into Walmart, Target, and other entities, Amazon, to get things like the stuff that Tabitha Brown, Layla Ali, and other black entrepreneurs have created. They don't have the ability to house the things. If you got a book and Target steps to you and say, hey, we want 50,000 of your books, you have to pay for those books, and then Target to get them. Say it again, you have to pay for those books in the entire. So if Sister Brown, sister whoever, brother whoever don't have the capital to do that, then maybe we need to relax. Shop with them on their website, get their money up, and then talk to. That's when you talk to the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, and these athletes that sign these $300 and $400 and $500 million contracts, and then you have them centralize one store and ship it to us like Amazon does. How about that? That's how you do it. That's how the Montgomery boycott was arranged. We don't need to get on this bus, so we're going to walk in carpool. And what we didn't do was buy that bus company, and then we'd have been all powerful. So what we do is buy out our brothers and sisters who are in the Targets, who are in the Walmart, and in these other entities that no longer want to work with diversity, equity, inclusion. And then we make the people, make a commitment to us, much like our brother Tyler Perry. Also, we need to start, just like we do crowdfunding, like our brother Tyler Perry we need to do crowdfunding for the projects that we want. You have somebody like a sister like Cheryl Underwood. I got 2 scripts myself. If you want, if anybody watching, reach out to your man at the end of the bench, THAENDOLBABENCH@gmail.com. But what we do is we fund these things. We no longer have to wait on other people to do this. Guess what? We get a major entrepreneur, and then you say, hey, I want to start a chain like Target, and we get all of our black products and our former Target, Bullseye, Jackson's instead of Walmart, Johnson's, Jordan's, or what have you. And it started off in regions like in the Midwest, where it was Oklahoma and Texas and things of that nature. And then we expand outward. The internet makes it so if you have a gigantic brick and mortar warehouse, all you have to do is put it online and then ship out. This is what we do. And guess what? You get you a Magic Johnson, you get you a Michael Jordan, you get you a LeBron James, and then you get a number just like our brother Isaac Hayes is third. And you crowd fund, and you get us to send you funds so we can do our thing, and then we don't need anybody. Guess what? If you're a Black entrepreneur, you can order Mitsubishi, Sony, and those entities to buy those same televisions, and you can get those same iPads, and you can get those same other technologies, and you can ship them out just like Walmart does. But we have to get behind it versus name calling. Question: you calling Tabitha Brown a coon for keeping her stuff in Target and in Walmart, as you sit your behind on Mark Zuckerberg, Mr. Anti-DEI, Mr. I'm friends with Trump now, Mr. You can lie on my platform. You sitting on Instagram and you sitting on Facebook, as you call somebody else a coon, and you're not calling them a coon from fan base. You're not calling them a coon from what's the name of this? What's the name of it? You're not calling them a coon from Spill. Two Black-owned platforms, but you call them, you own a anti-DEI platform, calling somebody out for being in a anti-DEI establishment. Make that make sense. See, instead of working and talk about Sister Brown, why don't you go buy some of her product? And then if we buy enough, we empty the shelves. Sister Brown, guess what? She just got to work that contract out, go to the end of that contract, and then she could walk away. And if we go into her website and she's shipping it to us directly, she don't have to split our money anymore. Wow. How about that? Instead of emotionally reacting, why don't we support? We should never be in a bad deal ever again. Because guess what? We're gonna have to negotiate with the power structure, but we should never be in a position of deficit ever again. For example, we create the music. Some of the best movies ever created, we did. Some of the best stories ever told, we told them. The best songs ever sang, we sang them. The best songs ever written, we wrote them. Some of the best athletes are us. Some of the best minds are us. So why are we in a position of deficit? If we're the most creative, if we are the most productive, why are we still in this late day of 2025? Why are we in a deficit? What I need us to do is leave the emotion where it is. Make that emotion drum up action. Be angry. That action takes on a movement. You either have a moment or a movement. We're going for movements. And now we have that anger manifest itself in action, manifesting itself into a movement. And then we will be financially secure, mentally secure, physically secure, and our great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren will have a future. If you like, dislike, or agree, leave a comment. I would love to interact with you. Thank you for tapping in. It's Brian HRap B. See y'all tomorrow. 2 fingers, 1 word, and y'all already.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why